Hello everyone, today we continue to build our Defender. I think that such a car will be the only one in the world, later I will remind you why. Let me remind you that the car is on portal gearboxes of a German manufacturer. The car will be completely in iron, protective frames and so on. I won't tell you ahead of time. In the last episode we didn't finish the power footboards, and in this episode we'll start by finishing the part. We've finished our power pegs, we've welded them, all the welds are cleaned. The next step is to take them apart and take them to sandblast and powder coat. And now we will deal with the power bumper. We made a bumper, but the client decided that he wanted to protect this part of the car fender as well, since our rear bumper does not cover the car fender because it will look bad. The client bought thick pieces of iron that I do not like, and asked us to weld them to the bumper. Our bumper is ready, we dismantled it and took it to the sandblasting and powder painting. And now we want to work on a cage or a roll cage. Let me show you photos of how it should look. As you understand, there will be a lot of metal on this car. The appearance will be very brutal, a real Bandera mobile. We started the process of installing the roll cage. We brought in these aluminum pieces to attach to the car fender and then attached our stainless steel tubes. Here we had to adjust the gap, raise this half of the car fender higher because it was 4 mm lower than the front part. This is in order for our spacer to be installed. And so, the front of our cage is completely ready. We sent photos and videos for our client to look at and say whether they like it or not. We have already received confirmation. And we continue to make a cage for the sides, roof, and so on. So we finished the cage or safety cage. The client approved and he likes everything. We repeated everything as in the photo. We removed the part, cleaned all the welds. After powder painting, the part will look like it came from the factory. The next step is the mirrors on the front doors. The client asked to install this part from the Geländewagen, through a spacer, just like a 4x4 in a square. Let's install it and see how it looks. At the request of the client, we took the mirrors from the Geländewagen and we are now trying it on. I think that it can be installed and everything will be beautiful. So we installed the mirrors. In my opinion, it looks good. Let me remind you that the mirrors are from Geländewagen and the spacer is also from Geländewagen 4x4 square. Write your opinion in the comments. The next stage is the noise and vibration isolation of the cabin. We will seal the rear doors, car fenders, roof, side doors. From the interesting ahead there will be an explosion of the brain. Let's wait and see everything.
Something that I'm breathing, telling me to sleep in. Fix behind my lids like nothing gets done. Living by a bad truth, swallow it like who knew. Marching to the drums like pa 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 pa. Sliding by the beaches, gotta have a secret. Life is plain peaches, tell nobody my secret. Drowning at the teaching, gotta have a secret. I'm just a fake silhouette, avoiding every threat. I wanna stay like a silhouette, but I can't do that, no I can't do that. No I can't do How can I keep this every day a recess? Hiding my weakness behind my black sheets. Life take a range, yeah, 'cause I'm not in shape yet.
We finished soundproofing. There were no difficulties. The next step is to strengthen the front and rear axles. Since the clearance is high, we needed the axle to look good. We cut out plates from thick metal, installed them, drilled holes for beauty and simply welded them on both sides. The front and rear axles are now beautiful and reinforced. Of course, we wrapped everything up, painted it with epoxy primer with the addition of zinc and black matte polyurethane paint, and the client also asked to change the oil in the central gearboxes. We did it. In our Defender now there will be an oil change in the central gearboxes of the And now the most interesting part of our work is shock content. Doors, what's wrong with them? We will now take away this doors, and make summer type doors, in the style of a buggy. Here is our Defender. The whole cage on top is already welded. We removed the doors for a reason, as we will be making new buggy-style doors. The client asked, we will do it. There will also be roof racks. For your money, every whim. We are already having something, a frame, almost a door. There will be perforated metal here. We will select a lock for this latch, and everything will be fine. While our doors are being built, we completely dismantle the car and prepare it for painting. The color will be the silver gray, exactly the same as we did for the 6x6 Geländewagen for shipment to the USA. This is how our buggy-style doors turned out. They are already fully welded and protected welds. We installed these locks, the door opens and closes, everything is fine. I like everything, write your comments. Here are the doors of our Defender. Everything works, closes, the hinges are already made, everything works. We will install this jack here. High jack. We will install it here. This is a task from the client. We have finished the frame, installed additional lighting and are now making an expeditionary roof rack. There will be a hammock and a tent on top. Everything has been bought and is coming to us. Later, everything is disassembled and sent for painting. The salon is already being flashed, the interior, the front panel, everything will be changed. This is already a new car. Here are our doors. The client constantly introduced changes in the process of work. In the photo you could see that there is a complete perforation of the holes. We changed it, we welded 2 pipes, the client approved and we cleaned everything. In general, the doors are finished. They are on factory hinges, but we have already picked up the locks and we will need to replace the brackets, since we could not come up with something for the factory ones. About this business for 10 minutes. The doors work without problems. If you ask why such doors, I have no answer to this question. The client asked, we did it. There were also changes in the trunk. Initially, the trunk was planned to be short for half the roof, but then the client changed their desire and decided to make the trunk for the entire roof and reinforced. On the front we will have a hammock. These are 2 reinforced pipes that unfold and fabric clings between them, on which you can lie down and just relax near the sea or somewhere in nature. A very good thing. We removed the trunk in order to clean up the welds and send it for sandblasting and powder painting. Also, everything will be painted. Also on the door, the upper part will be covered with leather. Everything should be beautiful. Now we want to do arch extensions. Let me remind you that we installed them from a 4x4 Geländewagen in a square, narrowed them, trimmed the top and bottom. In general, there were a lot of improvements, and the expanders themselves took us a lot of time. These are the same arches from our Defender that took a lot of time. We worked with them very well. Now they look like factory, although it's just primer and they haven't been painted yet. But even now you can see that they are perfect for a car. I showed you all the main works. Now we will remove all this metal, paint with powder paint and prepare the body for paint. Let me remind you that the whole car is made of aluminum and it is very soft. There are a lot of holes that someone made before us. Now we will close them and begin to putty the body and level it as much as possible. The color will be gray matte, exactly the same as the Gel Invasion 6x6 that we built for a client from the USA. I think the car will be beautiful, though added metal and weight, but we are not building it for racing. I think the project is worthy of your like and comment. We will also refine the interior. The interior is already being flashed, 3 rows of seats, a front panel, door panels. The interior will be just like a Maybach. I am finishing the video, waiting for your comments and goodbye.